Welcome back to the garden. There may be some new people here. I know I posted a video a couple days ago that included a gun, and that thing got 200 something views in the first day, whereas this video of the garden is probably going to get 30 to 50 views in a week, if that. Just want to remind people to kind of keep your priorities straight, because odds are most of us will never in our lives actually need to use a firearm. If you do need it, you're going to need it right then, and it's probably an important need, so it's worth having. But at the same time, most of us probably will never need it. On the other hand, most of us eat food. You'll probably be eating today. If you haven't already, you definitely will be in the future, almost certainly. And being able to produce food is kind of a more important need. So let's go through this real quick, because inside I've got 2 tacos waiting for me with salsa that I canned out of this garden last year, and I'm really looking forward to eating that because it's good. So over here, oh, by the way, I should have mentioned in Zone 8A in Texas, about an hour and a half north of Houston. So over here, eggplants are continuing to do well, or at least the plants are alive. And if you look down there, you got a lot of fruit growing. These have kind of fallen over, so I think the lesson learned there is I'm going to put them in tomato cages next year. Oh, I just realized I've got a flower. There's more fruit coming. But this was kind of a surprise. Last year I did eggplant and none of them, I think I got like 1 fruit. Today, or this year, I've got more eggplant than I honestly want to eat. Go over here. These next 2 beds are empty. They're growing grass. I don't know what I'm going to plant there. I'm at some point going to run the tiller, you can see sitting over there, over these just to break it up and kill off some of that grass. If you have any suggestions on what to grow there, let me know, because this is a fairly sunny area. It does get shade from the house occasionally, but like there's nothing else out here that's going to generate shade and shade that. Turning around, here is the chili laboyas. These are spicy peppers. These are actually from the Philippines, and boy is this thing producing peppers like crazy. I believe these are actually a relative of Tabasco's. Now, on the laboyas, I have 3 plants here and 2 more in that last raised bed near the house. I'll show you those in a second. And I kind of did this as an experiment to see how much sun these like, because over there things are a little shadier. Tomatoes like that a little bit. These are definitely doing a whole lot better than my laboyas that are slightly shady. And if we look over here, the plant that is significantly taller than I am, I think those have got to be pushing 7 feet tall now. Those are saluyot, also known as jute. The leaves are commonly eaten in the Philippines. They're actually really good. They boil them with vinegar, and it's some good eats. And those are just doing amazingly. And if you look down here, they're actually spreading. So I expect this to pretty much completely take over the bed at some point. Not that it has very much left to go. And hopefully they'll propagate and we'll get more next year. Over here, this next bed is Thai chilies, and the end of that far bed near over here we have Hootie, the defender of the jalapenos. He doesn't want to stand up straight. He needs some. Well, I don't have jalapenos out, but anyways, this is all Thai chilies, and they're not turning red yet, but if you look down there, I've got a lot of fruit growing. If you happen to be in the College Station area, tomorrow we should be having church potluck at the Seventh Adventist Church, and the fried rice will have some of these in it. I actually need to pick them today. Plus some eggs for my chickens over there. Next up, we have the tomatoes. And honestly, these tomatoes are not looking very good. I do have a few fruits growing. Well, actually, that might be the only fruit growing at the moment. And some flowers. But I started these late, so they didn't really have a good time to grow, and they weren't really full-sized for kind of prime growing season here. I'm trying to keep them watered, see if I can keep them alive until fall, when they'll hopefully produce some then. Now, over in this bed, oh, here's the other chili laboyos I mentioned. As you can see, they've got some fruits in here. Like, if you look down in there, there's some peppers. But they're definitely not doing as well as the plants that got full sun. Not just the camera wants to focus. There is a pepper in there. So, good lesson to learn. Next year, all the chilies are going over that side of the bed where they'll get sunnier. So, over here, I've got cherry tomatoes growing. And if we look close, you can see there's a bunch of little tomatoes in there. Basically what happened is I planted some cherry tomatoes here last year. I didn't harvest all of them like I should have, and just kind of let some of them die like I'm doing again. That's not deliberately, I just don't know what to do with this many cherry tomatoes. And the cherry tomatoes that are just falling there and coming apart and decomposing are also planting seeds. So I had all of these tomatoes. I didn't actually plant them, it just surprised me and came up. So that's been nice. And let's go over and look at our tree. Actually, before we do that, you can see there's actually quite a bit of red on this side. I need to harvest some of those, like looking close. And these have been just completely wild, so that's why it's such a mess. Over here, finally, we have the calamansi tree. Calamansi is kind of somewhere between an orange and a lime. It's a Filipino tree. That thing is about 3 years old. At this point, we got, last winter, this just completely froze. Everything above ground died, but it had a healthy root ball, so it just popped back up. And if you're wondering why it's surrounded by youth posts, that's so I don't accidentally run over it with a riding mower. Because I'd make that mistake occasionally, and my wife would be really annoyed. So, if you're not already growing a garden, you probably should. Well, now might not be the right time to plant, depending on where you are. But, look into it for your area. And I need to go feed and water the chickens, and then I got some tacos waiting for me for lunch.